After organized labor suspended its planned indefinite strike following signing of a memorandum of understanding with the federal government, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajaero, has made a new demand on new minimum wage. Ajaero stated that the least paid worker in Nigeria should get a minimum of $200, citing the inflationary trend on the cost of living and the cost of living in the country. Wow. $1 now is over 1,000 naira. So
$200 will be how much? $200 will be how much? No.
Yes, in the black market, right?
Yeah. So how much would that be? He's asking for $200. He's not asking in naira. He's asking that we pay them in dollars. So how much would that be?
Not. I don't think it's
no, equivalent.
So what's the equivalent of that?
The equivalent should be like
400,000. That's 200. Eh?
That's
200,000. 200,000.
200,000.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
Minimum wage.
It's not a bad idea to ask for this kind of money, but you know in your heart that it's not practicable. Not practicable. Even if the federal government can't pay it, that one is a fact. Even if the federal government is prepared to pay it, I know it will come with conditions. They will have to let some people go.
Yeah.
There are ministries where there are far more people than they need. You know, a situation in which you don't have more than 4 cars in a unit and you have 7, 8 drivers. What is the meaning of that? What would others be doing? The Nigerian bureaucracy, the federal bureaucracy, federal and state bureaucracies are carrying too much dead weight. And the system will be a little more nimble, a little more effective if they allow people who are surplus to requirements. That's the way they say it. Some people who are surplus to requirement, if they are allowed to go. You know, every year you see what football clubs do. If they find that you are not useful to them anymore, they release you from your contract. If that is if they cancel you. If they can see that no club is ready to buy this place, they will release you from your contract. Because when they loan you, they will still be paying half of your salary. The club that they loaned you to will be paying the other half. So they are not ready to carry your burden anymore. They simply release you from your contract. Go. I think that whether we like it or not, it will get to that point that the labor force has to be looked at again and see whether they can right size labor force. Yeah. They can right. You know, the COVID taught us a lot of lessons that you don't even need that many. Yes, because even working at home, it's not everybody, not all categories of workers that were working at home.
Some organizations
were not doing anything at all.
They are not back to
because you just find that it's not necessary. So this 200,000, he has to keep saying those things that will ginger his base, keep his people happy. But he knows, is this Zamfara state that even when the new minimum wage was introduced, they couldn't pay
30,000.
They couldn't pay. There are states in northern Nigeria that didn't even pay that minimum wage of 30,000. Some were paying 7,000, the old minimum wage. So are those ones going to pay this 200,000? And if they say they want to sack workers, Labour will say no. No, you cannot sack workers.
That would not be a condition.
So that's why we are starting with dead-end refineries now.
Yes, when they wanted to sell the refinery, they will be the ones to say no because they believe that some of their staff will be asked to go.
Yeah.
So they will lose their jobs. So it's a good thing to start giving an idea of what we need to pay workers. But 200,000 is not. I think it was TUC that first suggested this 200,000.
Yeah, it's been floating for a while.
It's not. It's not realistic.
That's their benchmark.
Without
start that.
without having to restructure. There's no way anybody will accept
All right.
200,000.
We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. We'll be right back after this time out. Thank you for staying with us. This is Journalist Hangout. And before we went on break, we were looking at the proposal by Comrade Joe Ajero for $200 minimum wage. That's approximately 200,000 naira. And Jide, 200,000 naira, the market today. First of all, do you notice that the bag of rice is going up?
It will go up because we are not producing enough, and we have banned importation of rice through the land borders. So we are not producing enough. That is part of the reasons I quarrel with the Anchor Borrowers program, because a program that had such quantum of money set aside for it should achieve one goal,
Surplus.
which is to drive down prices. If you do not achieve the goal of driving down prices, then the program has failed. How do we pump so much money into the program to ensure that farmers are able to produce more cassava, more rice?
More millet. More.
And what we have is a situation in which the prices are going up. It must mean that something is wrong. And you know, last year, Olam is the biggest rice producer in our country. They lost their big rice farm in Nasarawa State to flooding. People said at that time that this will definitely affect, yes. And it wasn't in Nasarawa alone. You go to Taraba, many people lost their rice farm. There's no way.
Dam opening in Cameroon.
Yes. There's no way it will not affect us. That kind of flooding is a big threat to food security. The kind of flooding that we had last year that led to loss of hundreds of thousands of our people. So there would always be repercussions for this kind of natural disasters. So I believe that's partly to blame. And then the insecurity. If people can access their farms, what will happen? Production will go down. There's no way it won't go down. So government needs to address what is at the root of this problem. Rice is the staple food that majority of Nigerians consume. Even people who by their age should not be eating rice, they are still consuming rice voraciously. So we have to find a way to stimulate greater agricultural production to the point that we can talk about feeding our people without resorting to importation. Since we are no longer setting aside dollars for rice importation, we have to rely on rice that we grow here. We've made some progress. You see some Nigerian rice, you won't even believe in terms of the packaging. You won't believe that it's Nigerian rice. But we are not producing enough. If we were producing enough, there's no way the price will be going up. It will come down. Just look at it. During the rainy season, tomatoes, their prices go up sky high. But as soon as the rains go, you see that the price will come down because there is greater supply during the dry season, than the wet season. So if we can produce rice a lot more and we stop deceiving ourselves with phantom pyramids, with rice brought from neighboring countries, we will be able to feed our people a lot more. The supply of rice will improve and the price will naturally go down. That is just the truth. What was that show off for?
No, it's to feed your, if you can't feed your mouth, you can't feed your eyes.
It was just meant to deceive Nigerians. You just deceive Nigerians, give the impression that you are working.
It's unfortunate.
So how do you, let's say 200,000 naira, and we talk about the private sector now. So can they afford?
No, that's a no-go there. Because already the burden is on the productive sector, and they are dying slowly. The cost of diesel, the cost of Now you want to top it with the cost of manpower. So it would have been simpler to simply go home and start importing, which most of them are doing now anyway. They are closing shop and moving to importation of goods and services to me. That's why the 200,000 naira
Can't make ends meet.
is not possible, because the cost of energy alone is enough to kill. All
And
most small
on
businesses
top
are
of
dead.
it, people are not even buying.
They are not. They don't have the
People are not buying. So
purchasing
they are not
power.
selling. They are not. The purchasing power is shrinking.
Yeah.
And because of that, a lot of them can't really make profit because demand has gone down drastically. Some are adjusting in a way. They don't want to raise prices, but they are reducing the quantity.
The content, yeah.
Yeah. You see, that was how the idea of all those small Maltina bottles came. That was how the idea of smaller Coca-Cola bottles. That was how the idea came, because you still want to be able to sell to people. But these people
can't afford
any increase.
Those of the pick milk.
If we increase your output, or the volume of sales that you will record will go down.
Don't forget that just last week, one of our breweries increased their...
Solomon Dada on the line from Alagbado in Lagos. Yes, Solomon.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, please.
Okay. I want to contribute to the discussion being going on.
All right, please do.
So, instead of government distributing to state governors and alleviating the poverty that is being prominent here, as we never witnessed its type, why not utilize the money to import common the rights that everybody in Nigeria is consuming on a daily basis? So import that rice temporarily, pending the time when the agric, whatever thing we have invest on agric, we invest in. So to import rice, it was done in 1976 during this Muitala, and equally it was done 1979 during Shagari. So the import rice, everybody will be a beneficiary, not the one that they will give to state governor. The state governor will never hear anything about it, particularly this Lagos State now.
Thank you, Solomon. Thank you. Julie, we have, like Lagos State now at Imota. I think before the end of this year, they are going to commission a very, very big
I think Buhari commissioned something there.
factory, and we have it all over the country right now. So we are doing well in terms of local production. But Solomon is asking for importation, mass importation.
We are not producing enough. We are not producing.
We can't produce what we consume.
Feed, yes.
Even at the best in
We are not producing enough. That's one is a fact. Yes, we have a lot of integrated rice farms springing up here and there. More people have shown interest in rice production and all that. But the demand is far higher than what we are producing. We need to, even the rice production, we need to introduce technology to help us stimulate greater production.
Greater yield.
Because the way we are going, a lot of our people are still smallholder farmers. We need greater investment in that sector to stimulate production, and inputs too. They need to make inputs available for farmers, high yield seedlings and all that will help to stimulate agri production, and we'll be able to feed our people. I agree that we shouldn't spend scarce
resources,
forex importing what we are capable of producing. We are a blessed country. Just 2 states in Nigeria can feed the whole of this country. Rice. Just 2 states. But what do we have? We are not doing enough. We are not producing enough. Maybe by the time Lagos comes fully on stream, it will help to a great extent. But honestly, we are not producing enough. We are not producing enough. There is still a lot of smuggled rice coming in spite of all that.
That's why it's expensive.
So still, we are not producing enough. And I'm sure the imported rice is cheaper than
somebody
local
was
rice.
talking about 47.
Bring in rice from
naira,
Cotonou,
46,000
for example. Bring in rice from Cotonou and see how much. That's why people are ready to die to smuggle rice from Cotonou into Nigeria because of the price. The price is cheaper than the one we produce here. You know?
And the customs are more allowed to season it in the markets than stopping it at the border. Anyway,
Their power doesn't extend to that.
You know, they go to Songo now. They raid the Songo market regularly.
It's wrong. It's wrong. I remember this senator from Osun State, who himself was a very senior custom officer.
Okay.
He told them that, look, it's wrong. You have no right to be going into those markets to raid. You know, sometimes it leads to loss of lives.
And there was a year we lost our generator because customs officers were chasing the smuggler and they ran into our transformer. 6 months in darkness. And they ran away. The man died immediately. And because the customs officers just drove by. And we reported it and nothing happened.
If you see the level of smuggling in Katsina, I was in Katsina, you'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Because they know the alternative is cheaper to what.
No, a vacuum must be filled. It's the law of nature. Something must fill it.
All right.